Okay, here we go. Let's see what you got, Trump.
Yeah. Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your attorney general told you this was a hoax? What evidence?
Why is it a
hoax?
How are we at hoax? What has the timeline been for this? Like, going back, does anyone remember Phase 1, the Phase 1 binders? If you don't know what that is, this was a time when Trump thought this was worth investigating. And he thought it was worth having people come to the White House, I think, a bunch of people, and it was put on this big show of how I've accumulated all these files, all this information. It's new information. Everyone thought they were getting new information. It would not have even made sense to say, hey, everyone, come on down to the White House, and I'm going to give you binders full of released documents from 10 years ago that I've redacted further and censored further. It was less information than what we got 10 years ago in those binders. Phase 1, I mean, to me, Phase 1 kind of seems to indicate a Phase 2. I don't think anyone's ever done anything with a Phase 1 and it wasn't immediately succeeded by a Phase 2, unless Phase 1 failed, or unless it was a big show. So we go from Phase 1, and then before we know it, we're being told, and then it gets released that the binders was like just released information. It was a big letdown, but there's still all the cope of, oh well, this is just the first step. It is just Phase 1. Who knows what's going to happen? And then we get to not that long ago when there's thousands of files on a desk, thousands of files sitting on a desk, thousands of videos, ostensibly thousands of victims and perpetrators. And then all of a sudden there's no files. What happened to the thousands of files? What happened to everything we were already told? Now there's no files. Everyone's scrambling to make sense of these two impossible pieces of information that can't go together. They're trying to make these puzzle pieces fit. And Trump is just trucking his way through it with not a care in the world. And if it couldn't get any worse, now there are files again. The files are back. But they were a hoax, and they were written by Obama. This is beyond QAnon. This is beyond flat Earth. This is a wild ride everyone's being taken on. And you could only do it if you're the president of the U.S. Only the president of the U.S. could possibly pull anything like this off, because only they have the power to keep enough powerful people in line, towing whatever narrative you want them to tow, to bypass the nonsense.
General, no, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the
Oh, I got to play that again too, because
Democrats.
He does a little game here. Oh, jeez.
For 4 years, you had Christopher Wray and these characters, and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started 4 years. You had Christopher.
You said this morning. You said this was all a hoax.
Listen to
Has
the
your
question.
attorney general told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you
No,
seen
it's
of
not
that?
the Attorney General, no.
Has your attorney general told you this is a hoax?
I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats.
He said no. It's not the attorney general. I know it's a hoax. So it's just nobody. And to make it worse, he then purposely misinterprets the question. He says it was the Democrats who perpetrated this hoax. As if she was asking, you're saying this is a hoax. Whose hoax is it? Who made this hoax? When she was asking, no, who told you it was a hoax? Where'd you get the information that it was a hoax? Not who made this a hoax. We don't know that it's a hoax yet. But he deliberately misunderstands it on purpose, just so he could say, oh, who told me it was a hoax? Well, the Democrats made this hoax. It's a non sequitur.
It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters, and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work.
I'm not going to pretend to understand all these other accusations he's putting out there. Maybe there's some valid misinformation that's been perpetuated by the Democrats, the Steele dossier and the 51 agents and the Russia thing. I mean, I know about Russiagate. I think it's okay to investigate something like that, and yet not a ton was found. I know we had the bot farm uncovered, so it's not nothing, and there were arrests, I believe, but the other ones I don't know, and that's what sucks, because if you have these other misinformation on the left, and now it gives him the opportunity to try to just add this to that group.
The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city. No, it's I call it the Epstein hoax. It takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements we've had, a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had, and all of the things we've done, including the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people. Yeah, go ahead.
That's crazy. The Epstein hoax. So what was phase one? What was the thousands of files? He was never calling it a hoax then. What caused him to come out with there are no files when he did? Was there a reason he couldn't have held on to that line for a few years and just been like, look, we're like played the same game that's been being played for years and years and years? Did someone was there somebody or something happen that he needed to come out and have this fight now? It seems strange. This is he put all this on himself of what would happen if he hadn't done anything. Like, yeah, maybe you get a little bit of the normal pushback of where are the files, but you've been dealing with that forever. Would you not prefer that over whatever this is? But yeah, what was phase one? You're saying there was no files, but you had files. This is crazy. But yeah, I think it's clear what's really going on. I mean, why would he say this? Why would this all happen? I mean, the ties are there. Everyone knows the ties. Everyone's seen the pictures. Everyone knows all the stories. Everyone's seen it all a million times and a million videos by now. You don't need me to go through it all again. I mean, some things I learned that were a little different. I didn't know Ghislaine Maxwell was at Trump's daughter's wedding. And I didn't know that a young girl was trafficked out of Mar-a-Lago. And then Katie, there's another girl that it might be the same girl. It might be the same story. I don't know. But there's a few things I heard, but it just gets worse. Everything you hear. That stuff's particularly damning. And this is wild. Now, okay, let's. Why don't we look through? Can you see the comments on this view? Here we go. Jeez, had to go way down. I guess we're all stupid Republicans, and so are you, since you talked about it for years. It's such a weird switch. Just to flip the switch and just, take everyone for suckers, just like really insult everyone's intelligence. This one's interesting. Stupid Republicans. No, he definitely said stupid Republicans. Don't try to sugarcoat. To me, this implies like there was a different title to this video and they had to change it. God. Trump less Democrats, stupid Republicans over Epstein hoax. So that comment doesn't make sense with this title. So that makes me think it said Trump less stupid Democrats and Republicans over Epstein hoax or something like that, probably. It was just posted 9 hours ago. I don't know if there's a way to see the previous title. But that comment indicates like, oh, they tried to like do something with the title, which is just hilarious. Like, where can we save face? What can we possibly do? He got what he wanted from you. You saved him from prison. Now you are disposable. And yeah, he really doesn't need him anymore. There's nothing else he can do. I mean, unless he's really entertaining some crazy idea of a third run, that everyone is absolutely useless to him now. And you're immediately seeing what that reality in his mind, how that manifests in his behavior. I said in another video, like, oh, it's like this shouldn't be a moment of like a gotcha, like one-upping on the conservatives. It's really just everyone should be coming together to make the point about accountability and justice here. So I'm not trying to revel in it, but all you can do is laugh sometimes. All you can do is laugh, especially in this is just crazy times. Like, when is a controversy this? I mean, I guess January 6th, but yeah. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. I'm just freaking scrolling mindlessly. Did he really just have the audacity to say it was a Democrat hoax? Yeah, he just says something and then all of a sudden it's a thing. It's only crazy until he says it. The moment he says it, you get the initial shock value, but then immediately it just like settles in somehow and we just go along with it. Everyone, yeah, now there's the Epstein hoax. That's a thing now. And yeah, and what's the implications for Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison, and a part of the evidence, from what I understand, was a client list. If the client list was part of the evidence that she's in jail for 20 years for, and the President of the United States just said there is no client list, shouldn't she be walking free? And didn't he wish her well? Is he trying to help her? Is that the reason? Is this all just to get Ghislaine out of jail? Like, maybe he really does have a big issue knowing one of his close friends is in jail for 20 years. And if he can make it go away by saying a key piece of evidence doesn't exist. And so what happens if, she appeals, which I'm pretty sure she is appealing right now, and the court says, no, you can't appeal, we have that evidence, like we saw the evidence, like now you have like an official court saying no, this evidence exists to the point that we have someone in jail for 20 years and the president saying it doesn't exist. How do we get past that? My Lord. Well, yeah, I just had to, I'm going to try to start covering this up. I'm going to try to start making small videos, but add whatever I can to it, because sometimes I see bits and pieces, and I know sometimes I watch stuff and like there's an assumption that you kind of have all the back information, and I don't always, so I go over it a little more in depth and go over that history of it and wrap it all up in a bite-sized fashion. Maybe that'll be useful for somebody. All right, peace out, guys.